I just picked up one of these nice little rolling carts at Home Depot last night, and what I had this engine sitting on was this little table thing here that my friend built a long time ago. And I don't know how heavy those things are, but that's solid wood. You can hold a lot of weight in the little table. But I'm going to clean it up and probably put it in the house. And this thing here will hold 300 pounds, and it's actually built pretty good. It's a Husky. So I got my tools on the bottom and the engine on the top. And so it propped up with the styrofoam this thing was wrapped in, actually. A little bit of gas leaked out of the carburetor and ate that styrofoam, but that's okay. You can get an idea now of just how dirty this engine really is. It's never been out of the tractor. Never been worked on. This right here would normally be hidden underneath the battery tray, so I mean the starter's kind of hard to get to on these. This has got a different starter and different ring gear than my other 10 horse Kohler. It's got I think it's got more teeth on the ring gear and on the starter. They sound different, and I know the starter, the part number's different. The motor's probably the same, but so here's a good view of the Kohler. So I'm going to clean it up a little bit. Crankcase vent, fuel pump. Everything seemed to work on this engine, it just burns oil. So I'll take some of the shrouds off. Thought I'd show a neat little trick I've got for keeping parts together. First of all, you can see just how nice this engine really is. You can see how underneath all the grease, it's very clean, very good shape. That's actually cast iron right there. It's actually shiny. Okay, here we see Harbor Freight rubber grommets. Here is the condenser. I just took off the coil. It was right there. You can see where the washer was and everything. Now to keep everything together, what I've done is just taken one of those little rubber grommets. It fits snugly on that little bolt. And it's not going to go anywhere. So I'm going to put this in here with the starter. This right here clip was holding the wiring harness together. Same deal. And when I'm done, I'll just clean up the grommets and put them back in the box and reuse them later on for something else. But I got a lot of cleaning to do. I think I'm going to leave the voltage regulator there for now. I've got one more bolt to take off. And there's the coil. It's kind of hard to do that one-handed. Looks like they had a spacer here. I don't remember that on my other engine. But my other engine, somebody's messed around with it and the coil's mounted like this. It's not like this anymore, like it's supposed to be. So I don't know what's up with that. But my other engine was apart before we ever got it. This one's as it left the factory. And the starter has a date code of 1983 on it, so the engine might be an 83, but the tractor is an 84. So sweet. Okay, I've got most of the shrouds off the engine. It's sitting on its flywheel right now. Here's the main flywheel shroud right here. You can just get an idea how dirty this engine is. That's the heat sink from the voltage regulator right there. This is where the baffles are, where it forces air into the air filter right there through that tube. Kind of pressurizes a little, gives it a little bit of boost. And you can see how this crap's falling out here. That's all from inside the shroud. It's caked up right here pretty good. Yeah, it's all caked in there. Look at all this stuff. Ugh. Yep. This is why it's important to take these things apart when you rebuild them like this. Clean them up. Look at all this crap caked up around the cylinders here. And it's been like this since I bought it. You can still see clearly through the fins there, so the head's fine. I haven't cleaned it yet or anything. This is where the lifting point is. It's got a stud that comes up through the head, and this just bolts on. So when you're lifting the engine up, you're actually lifting most of the weight from one of the head bolts. It's actually a stud, not a bolt, but I call it a bolt. It's always important to keep your fasteners marked. Take lots of pictures. I didn't take any pictures, just a couple actually, of the wiring and the coil. Those fins are plugged right there. Oh yeah, look at all this gook. Yuck. Yep, get all that crap out. And then I'm going to pop the head off at some point, measure the cylinder with this little doodle. We'll use this. Figure out what size rings I need. Okay. Okay, I've got that side mounting bracket removed. It's right there right now. Tray, like I should call it. I'd like to point out something on the fuel pump that people who own these Kohler engines should know. As they age, you should definitely check these screws. They're Phillips screws. All I have is a slotted screwdriver, but this is enough to demonstrate it. See that? It's loose. Both of them, I'm sure. Yep, they're both loose. I had this problem on my 1977 210. These things here loosen up over time from vibration, and you have to check them. Make sure that they don't loosen up. So, before I put this engine back together again, they will be tightened. In fact, I'll just lightly snug them. I don't want to ruin them with this slotted screwdriver, but I think they're a number 3 Phillips. Pretty big size Phillips. So, make sure you're using the right size Phillips screwdriver for the job too. Oh my god, look at all this crap. It just keeps coming. This engine is so dirty. I gotta keep vacuuming it up with the vacuum there. Holy crap. It just keeps giving me more and more and more and more dirt when I think it's clean. It's just coming off in sheets. Ugh. Must have been some gas in the carburetor because it started dripping. So I just kind of tilted it off the side there a little bit. I don't know, I thought I ran it out of gas. Maybe not. Oh well. I'm not getting that shroud there behind the governor arm and carburetor off until I remove the carburetor, and I'm not doing that until I clean it up to stop crap from getting in there. It's loose though. Here's where the points are. I've actually never touched the points on this engine or on my 1977 210. I've never even opened the cover on either of these engines. They've just never given me a problem. In fact, this might even be the original spark plug for all I know. I have no idea. I've never touched it. Never done anything to the ignition system on this one. All I know is when you wash the 1977 210, it cuts out on you. Some of the wires must be bad. It'll cut out if you leave it running. This one don't. This one's in good shape. All the wires are very good. So here's the wire coming from the points right here. Here's the wires coming from the stator coil. So that's it for now. More updates to come. This is probably as far as I'm going to get today.